All right, Seven Fish, welcome. Today we're doing a video on a little reel repair. So I had one bait caster where my line was really stuck up on one side, basically because my line guide that goes back and forth normally, every once in a while, not always, got stuck just on one side, and it would basically fill that spool up uneven, and then you couldn't reel anymore because all your line was on one side. So the first step I'm gonna do, well, the first step was to call Lose, and they sent me a new piece. So I got the spacer. I didn't know if I needed the spacer, but I figured, hey, just send the spacer and the new pin, the level wind pin. You can see it's that little piece in the baggie. I got two, one for each of my reels because I know for sure one is acting up, and I thought maybe the other one was, and I just fished both of these really hard, and I've had them for plenty of years, so I figured I might as well just replace. I'll practice on one, and then I'll probably be good I probably won't be good, but I'll practice on one and then get the other one finished. And I'm gonna take you through the process. So first thing first, I am taking the line off of each of them. This braid definitely needed to be replaced anyway, so I'm just stripping it completely off. What I was doing is just basically just ripping this line out. I know there's other ways, but I'm putting my thumb down here so I don't get a backlash when I let go of that. A few yards of backing. We're at the end. Break that off. And there's the reel. Like I said, that only happens sometimes because it is spinning now. Not making the best noises, but that's why we're taking this whole thing apart. You can see it's kind of gunked up in there. So I'm gonna clean it out, put the new piece in, and hopefully we're back in action. You can see the insides. Now the piece I'm trying to get to is right here. I need to first see if I can take a flathead to that piece, but I can't access that because this bar comes across. So what I'm gonna do is loosen this screw, and I've already tested this on another one. If I loosen that, I can just pull this piece just enough to get it off. And yes, I know my fingernails are long, but I wanted to keep them long until I did this project so I can get these little screws from falling all over heck. Just like that. So I'm gonna take that real itty bitty screw and place it in this spot over here where I won't lose it. Now you can see I can lift this bracket up and kind of move it around. I'm gonna see what happens if I undo that one. So that screw is longer, so I'm gonna leave it there. So far I've worked with, this is one I could label this short, and this one here I can label this long, just to help me not forget or lose anything. Carefully pull this piece so I don't break it out of the way while I loosen that. You can actually just do the rest with your finger. You can see it coming undone. Okay, now where you have to be careful, there's a little spacer in there. That little piece is a spacer. Actually, yeah. So shake that out. You can see the pin right there. I'm gonna let it fall out. If you look at that, there's a little gunk on it. And we're gonna replace that with the new one they gave us. On the back, there should be a little spacer piece right there. I know the fingernails are gross, but whatever. save that spacer. This is the bad one, so I'm gonna place it over here. The new one is in this baggie. I put my other bad one over here. That's the brand new one. As you can see, the new one has perfect edges on it that will sit in that groove and catch. Meanwhile, let's clean this crap off. So those grooves right here is where this piece goes and sits in those grooves and allows it to rotate back and forth. Right now, I can slide this piece back and forth because I'm working on it. But I'm working on it, I need it over here. Like I said, you could take this whole piece, whole side off, and then I could easily work on it. But I don't need much more movement than just that much. So yes, if you're not careful, that could break off. But I think this is more for a guard to keep things clean and also aesthetics. If I broke that, I wouldn't be terribly mad. I'd be a little mad, but not terribly mad. So time to put this piece back in. All you have to do is drop it in that little hole. And I can't forget to put said spacer on top. So take this, drop it in. Now it's in there, you can see it's in there, push down on it. The spacer will allow you to push down on that, and then the cap will push even harder on it to keep it tight. So stick your finger to that son of a gun, which is very little. Somehow try and put that on there. Don't ask me how I did that in one try. Slide this on. Take your cap, place it on top. Don't drop it in there. Don't make those too tight. I made the one over here too tight, or somewhere on this reel too tight earlier, and I cracked it. So there you have it. Just replaced the level winding pin on both of my reels and it should be good to go. Hopefully it's good to go. We'll put line on them and hit the water and we'll see. Until then, keep your reels nice and clean and catch some fish with them. We'll see you later.